Hey guys, this is Rosemary Groner from The Busy Budgeter. I'm doing a super long tutorial on how I make an image with picmonkey, and I have to warn you, if you're looking for a quick tutorial, this is not going to be it. I'm doing this as a favor for my friend Ben from homearound5.com. He wanted to see how I actually make a photo, so I am literally going to make a photo. I'll talk to you about what I'm doing, but it normally takes me at least 20 minutes to make a photo, so I think my recorder cuts off at 15 minutes. So this will likely be a 15-minute tutorial, not quick, and I'm really just doing what I need to do for my own blogging. If you happen to learn something from it, that's great. But again, if you're looking for a quick tutorial, probably not going to be the one. So this is an image. I pay for dollarphotoclub.com, but you can find free images. Pixabay is my favorite one to use if you are not at the point of paying for pictures. If you can have a small budget for pictures, you can get free images from Canva. You just I think they're like $1 each, so just grab a photo from Canva. But anyway, once I get to this point, I crop it to make sure it's the size I need. I optimize for Pinterest, so I do 1000 by 1500, which is already perfect. If I need to, I can scale the photo. I buy stock photography, so I don't really worry about exposure and all that stuff. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I don't mess with it. I don't sharpen things. If you know what you're doing, you can certainly do that. Then what I do is I actually go right over here and I add text. This is a post. I need to skip back over because I need to remember which one I'm doing. I am doing should I share a bank account with my husband? That's what I'm writing. So my text would say, I do all capitals, I just find it easier. Should I? And then I know my text is going to be, I have to figure out how many lines I'm going to do. So I'm going to do, should I share a bank account with my husband? So 3 lines, and I'm going to break that up so my text can be large. I want large text because I'm putting it on Pinterest. And with Pinterest, most of the traffic is on mobile. So the larger the text, the more it's going to be seen. Should I share a bank account with my husband? The reason why I'm not writing spouse and I'm writing husband is because I typically write to women, and typically it's women who are on Pinterest, which is what this image is for. 1000 by 1500 is optimized for Pinterest, and that's the pixels that when we went right here and we cropped, we did 1000 by 1500. It's showing you the smaller amount because the box is smaller, but 1000 by 1500 is what we have right now. So that is, this is a Pinterest image. So should I share a bank account? And then the third line is going to say add text with my husband. And you can click and drag these boxes out. And I try to be really exact with this because I'm going to be messing with how I put like if I hit center, I want it to actually be centered and not off center, which will drive me nuts. So I try to make the box exactly the size that it should be. So that if I center left, or is it called center left? I'm not sure. So if I change where I need it to go, I want it to be right. Okay, so now I'm going to choose my fonts and my placement. Font scroll over here, best advice I can give you is find fonts that you love and stick with them. I was all over Sketchblock for a while, and I still am, but I try to get out of Sketchblock because I feel like Sketchblock is really, that's Sketchblock. I feel like Sketchbox is really trendy, and I want the articles to still be kind of relevant and the pictures to still be relevant in a year or two. So now I'm moving into, not that one. Impact isn't it? Yeah, Impact is one of my favorites. And then again, big text is going to do better. And I center it right there. And I just drag this over for size. You can also click here and add in the exact. So once I get it like as big as it'll go without going to the next line, I try to add a little extra, like 152. 152 will work. And then I go up 155. Yep, 155 will work. And then that's pretty much as big as I'd want it. And should I share a bank account? I am not a graphic designer and I won't pretend to be one, but I make a full-time living for my blog, and I blog full-time. So any advice I give you will probably be enough to get you by until you can afford to hire someone. That's Didact Gothic. I don't even know how to say that. And then I do the same thing. So I'm doing like thick text with skinny text, I guess is the best way to say it. I don't really know the right way. So 125 works. 130 seems to work. So now what I'm actually doing, this is wrong, this should be out more. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I want this text and this text to line up as exactly as I can. So that looks pretty good to me. Should I share a bank account with my husband? And now I have a choice. I can go skinnier with my husband, or I can go back to thick again. I can also switch these around and do skinny, thick, skinny. So I normally just try it both ways and then see what's what. See if I like it. So 118, 125 is way too big. 122 seems to be working maybe a little bit bigger. 123. Yeah, that looks good to me. This is wrong though. This needs to go out a little bit. I'm getting, there's 3 lines there. I want that middle line directly on that. And then I click middle. Okay, that looks perfect. Okay, so this looks perfect for me, but it's up too high. I want to leave a little bit of space on the top, so I'm going to move it down around their little ankles a little bit, and I'm going to move this down too. And I'm going to move this down too. Okay. So now make sure everything still lines up good and everything is equal. Now this is right here, this is an overlay. And do geometric overlay. This is the one that I always use no matter what I do. I don't think I've ever used anything else. And drag it, make it bigger, make it fit over the whole thing. Click color. I do white. I almost always do white overlays. I play around every once in a while with doing colored ones to see what happens, but typically white does better for me. And when I say play around to see what happens, it means when I pin these on Pinterest, I can see later on how well they did, how many repins they get, and things like that. So typically my white backgrounds with a transparency of 40% do better than anything else I do. So I kind of stick with what I know, or what does well, I should say. And then you can add a pop of color if you want. Remember, the transparency affects the color too. So it might be super dark red here, but here it's kind of like a washed out red. And I'm going to color match off of that shirt more. So I'm going to try to find a different red that looks more pinkish to me. Brown. Maybe I should be over here. That's the issue. That looks good. Yeah, that looks better. So, boom, boom, boom. And then I would normally want to make something here pop with color, something. So the secret to this, to click on this specific text. Sorry. So like if I want to draw out this text and be able to change the color of this text, the easiest way to do it is to click elsewhere in the thing. Line up the center of that little 4-way arrow exactly on the text and click on it, and you can do it. The other way you can do it, because that doesn't always work, if you don't get it exactly on the text, it highlights this block. So the other thing you can do is move the block down and then just move it back over, whichever way, because then it's really easy to hit the text. It took me months to figure that out, so now hopefully you don't have to be as bothered by that as I was. Red will typically do better on Pinterest than blue. So I am choosing red. The other thing I don't like is I don't like the size of that box. I want the box to be smaller. Should I share a bank account with my husband? That looks okay to me. It's probably not my best work, but I like that. I'm going to go with that for next week. The last thing that I do is I'm going to add a logo. So overlays, and then up here you click your own, and then I'm trying to remember where I have my logo stored. I think it's here. Yeah. And this is, I had my logo professionally designed by Laura from Pixel Me Designs. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, add it to the corner here, and then obviously since the back of that logo is, I'm putting the logo on a black background, I'm going to make it white. So it's a little bit easier to be seen, a little bit bigger, nothing crazy. You can also fade it a little bit if you don't want it to be like in your face. The logo is important though because you want people who like you and know your content You want them to be able to see it's yours, so they can say like, oh, wait, I like the busy badger. I'll totally see what she has to say about the subject. And then we are going to save, and I save as the title of the words, whatever the words are, that's what I save as. Should I share a bank account? And then I don't normally write the whole thing out, I just start it so I can recognize it. Save to my computer, save, that's done. Now, this is not the correct way to do it, but this is the way that I do it. So because I don't focus as much on Facebook, I only get like 30,000, not even, probably 25,000 page views from Facebook, and I get a lot more on Pinterest. I optimize my time by kind of cheating on Facebook, and I don't make an entirely new image with Facebook dimensions. For my featured image, my theme has this, your theme might not have it. I need a square photo at 1000 by 1000. So I crop it. Actually, I'm gonna lower that down a little bit. Yeah. I crop it for my, so this would be my featured image on my website. So when it has like all of my posts listed in order chronologically, this is, instead of having that long Pinterest image, they're just gonna have this one. And then I would save this as, should I share a bank account with my husband? And that's going to be Facebook. I put the FB on the end so that otherwise it'll say duplicate, would you like to override? And I've done that before and then had to start over. And it's a really sad day, so don't do that. Okay, so then what I do, and again, this is not the right way to do it. The best course of action is for you to optimize every photo for the social media. So the best course of action to make a Facebook post right now is to start all over with the same image or a different image and create a Facebook post, which will have different images. It's 1200 by 628. You have to click off keep proportions because I'm telling it to resize it. So it's going to make it all stretched out and weird. 12,000 or 1200 by 628, and then I'm going to apply. Now my text stretch is okay. It's not perfect, but my text stretch is okay. The picture is going to look all weird. So what I do is I do overlay, your own, and then I have to remember 759. It's Dollar Photo Club image that I use. So I need to go to downloads. Actually, I think it goes under HDD. Downloads. 759. That's the original photo that I got from Dollar Photo Club to use this. So it's going to put it as an overlay. So I'm going to make that overlay really big so it covers the whole thing. And I'm going to move these little guys down a little bit. And then I'm just going to put send it back. And ta-da! Now it's all set for Facebook and I didn't have to create another image. So I click save. And I saved the other one as Facebook when it was featured. That was stupid. Sorry. Should I share a bank account? Facebook. So that'll work out, but I'm going to be able to see them anyway. But normally the other one would have saved as featured and this one would be saved as Facebook. So save. And then I'm already done. So it took me, I don't know, 13 minutes and 38 seconds to create 3 images for my blog posts. And it almost always takes me under 20 minutes. If I put this one into my system and it doesn't do well, like nobody's repinning it, and I really think the content is fantastic, then I'll actually come back and create a whole nother image, start all over again, and maybe change it a little bit. Perhaps this one's a little too masculine or things like that. So I would change it and then put it back out into the system and see how it does. All right, so thanks. Sorry it was so long.